Well, there are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and Borough handing Coventry 6 points every single season. How are you doing? Welcome back to our Borough Walk. No big headlasses on this show this week. Sometimes you win, some you lose. And this particular week, we just weren't good enough. Beaten by the better team, 3-1 at the CBS last night. Lucky for us, though, we've got three fantastic Borough fans here who are not bitter at all, who are going to give us the facts. And we're not going to call out any particular players. We've got Sarah, Jonathan, and Craig to give their views on what happened at the CBS. Thanks for your company this week as well. Great to have you on board. We're going to talk about Ayling. We're going to talk about goalkeepers. We're going to talk about the curse of Coventry. Can it ever be lifted? Is there such a thing? As well. And of course, we're looking ahead to Oxford this weekend as well. Sarah, is that a case of learn our lessons as quick as we can, move on, forget about it, and we can still win more than they do?
I think so. I think they did a job on us, right? And Lampard got it right, and he won the battle of the coaches. I think that's fair to say. First half, they really did do it. I actually think that second half, Whitaker has a header there that if he puts that away, it's a very, very different game. And I think second half we did show a lot of our normal play, but some of the mistakes we made were just uncharacteristic. So I think we just need to chalk this off and not get too held up with it, because they were up for it. It was their night. They deserved it. We move on.
Yeah. Of course, it hasn't stopped some people on Twitter, Jonathan, putting their 2 pennants in. We're going to get to some of them in a minute, but the biggest cry is that we need to start Fry now. This was one of those in particular. Will says, Coventry were the better team at the end of the day. Fry, though, now has to start against Melander now. Somiota did look positive when he came onto the pitch. We'll talk about him more in a minute, but on this Fry point, do you agree?
No, I wouldn't knee-jerk into anything, to be honest with you. Ayling's been good all season, so I don't know why it changed. Yeah, okay, it wasn't his best game yesterday, but there's been, 31 games before that were pretty bloody good, to be honest with you. So I'm not convinced one game means mass changes. It was one game we lost. They had a better plan. They executed it better. We didn't execute as well as we wanted. Move on, to be honest with you. So, no, I wouldn't change Fry. Look, Fry's a good player, but Ayling's had a better season, so I wouldn't change nothing.
Okay. Craig, there were some people that said he should have been bought off even during the match. Davey says, let's not get carried away. It wasn't our night. There's some tactical naivety and selection now would have helped, please. Haji Wright ran Ayling ragged all night, yet Fry still never got on. Sol looked clueless at times. McGree was non-existent first half. But more than anything, we had soft defending. Obviously, I'm picking out the negatives here. There were lots that just said, we played all right, forget about it. So this is obviously not representative of the fan base at all. But does that poster have a point?
Yeah, slightly. I mean, I think Wright did target Ayling. It was Ayling's fault. The first goal, he let him get the wrong side of him, and then he couldn't get back. But then Britain played him on. Like, a fullback should never be playing a striker on. He should be like ahead of your centre backs, and he was way back. But Ayling's positioning, and he let Wright get goal side of him. The second one, like, a rule of a centre back is you never let the ball bounce. You deal with it. He let the ball bounce, but then after that, he didn't deal with it. Wright outmuscled him a bit. And Bryn wasn't great. His starting position wasn't great. But like Jonathan's always said, like, Ayling's had a brilliant season. It's easy to pick on him, I think, because of his age, and he's not a natural centre-back, if that makes right. He's come from right-back. So I think it would be easy to pick that up. But throughout the season, everyone has a bad game, and it was just that last night was his, and the mistakes kind of were they shone a bit more because of, obviously, the scored from them.
Just staying with Ayling a second, Sarah, if that's okay, just on the way he acted towards his goalkeeper. Some people have called this out online. Just get your view on it. Dylan says, it's absolutely shocking from Ayling. He's supposed to be a captain and a senior player, and therefore blaming a younger lad for his mistake, referring to that second goal, of course, not good at all. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see all this. I've only seen it sort of later on. I only watched the highlights earlier because I've been out all day. But I mean, like, in the moment, I don't think they're obviously angry with each other, angry with themselves. I don't think we can say too much. I think Ayling spoke about it after the game and said, look, we'll sort it out. We were both annoyed at losing the goal. things were said. We're passionate. We want to win the game. You know, I don't think there's too much to be said about that. I mean, yeah, I'm not really. I'm absolutely 100% behind the players being upset with each other actually on the pitch and showing that passion. So yeah, I don't think it's anything in that. I actually
You know
think.
what?
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, Sarah. Sorry, I thought you finished. It's just a trait with footballers, I think, because I was talking to Sean the other week, and we were talking about they have this kind of thing about them where they make a mistake and they blame someone else. It's the first thing that they do. They throw their hands up and point at somebody, or they haven't done this, they haven't done that. We were talking about a game, Van Dijk at Liverpool about 2-3 weeks ago, and he gifted Bournemouth a goal. I think it was at Bournemouth, and he miskicked the ball. They scored, and he threw his hands up and was screaming at the centre-back, the other centre-back, Canate, and you're thinking, like, you've made a mistake, put your hands up. Like, I think it's just a trait that kind of footballers have, obviously, because of like the kind of like mentality that they have and everything like that. But yeah, I don't think it's kind of frustrating, but I think that's kind of like, the behaviour.
Ayling is super popular in the team as well, so I'm sure that's being sorted out quite quickly. He's a really popular member of that team, and it was showed that when he was at the event last week. So I don't think there'll be much made of that. I think him and Brynell have sorted that out, no problem.
Okay. Good. Excellent. Minus points for you, Craig, bringing Van Dijk into discussion on a Boro podcast.
He's the best centre-back on Merseyside, isn't he? I've heard.
Right, Jonathan, I'll read out a sentence here I saw on social media. I don't agree with it, but I'm putting it there for discussion. Hayden Hackney goes missing in big games. Discuss.
No, I'll tell you what I will go with. If Hayden Hackney's not on top form, we struggle as a team. So I wouldn't say he went missing. I say Coventry did a job on him, and they swamped our midfield. So no, he didn't go missing. He just didn't quite have the right set of I don't know what the word is, but about him yesterday to overcome it. Neither did Morris, neither did Brown, in fairness. So Coventry did a better job. And you know what, Sarah said it earlier. You know, Elberg's all about Kaizen theory and continuous learning. And he'll watch that video, and so will Cellini. They'll dissect it and they'll turn it into stuff that the players can learn from. So yeah, Hayden Hackney didn't have his best game. He didn't go missing. Coventry just did him, and therefore he wasn't as influential as he normally was.
Okay. People want Whittaker benching as well. Craig said if he could only head a ball, we'd have won that. Would have won that game. I mean, I know there's lots of reactionary stuff I'm throwing at you here, and it's very unfair. But there's literally, it's a loss, so people are going to react.
Yeah, it's not like Boro fans to overreact negatively, is it? But,
to be fair, most of the reaction I think online was actually sound from Boro fans. It was really good to say, "Look, we lost. Credit to Coventry. Hope you go up with us." This is just those odd bits of you, because it doesn't make good chat, that does it?
No. Well, I mean, I suppose Whittaker didn't have his best game, and he had a header in the first half as well, where he kind of let it hit him rather than be aggressive with the header and put his head in it. He would have had to be brave. He's not the bravest. But yeah, I think he had two good headed chances, which either of them goes in, and the game could have went different. But it's not fair. I wouldn't say it's fair to pick on one like Ayling or Bryn or him, because there was quite a few players who only had a 6.5, 7 out of 10 night. And there was too many of them, really. So, yeah, I mean, I think they just have to all take it on the chin that, it wasn't a good night.
What's the biggest thing you think Hellberg's learned, Sarah, then, tactically from that game?
Sorry?
What a question.
I know, what a question indeed. I think that honestly, I think that he thought just playing our game would be enough. I think he went into that game thinking we will play our way and he didn't have a counteract for what Coventry were going to set up and do. And I think that's a massive learning for him from in the championship perspective as well, because we got caught out by Bristol City as well. And I know that was the beginning of that bad run and it was kind of his first loss. But Bristol City did a similar job against us in terms of like cutting the space in the middle and, just being a bit physical with us, being a bit. I think there's just something to work on there where he goes with his style and his style only, and he might have to think about, okay, how do I combat that? But in his defense, second half we played our game and we had a lot of good opportunities, and I think without those poor decisions at the back, we probably could have come away with a draw from that game. So I don't want to really criticize him too hard because he's still new in the Championship. He's still learning from games like this. This is how he's having to learn, by what he gets wrong on the public stage. So I'm not too upset with Hellberg or what he's done there at all. But
best games are the ones you lose, because that's the one you lose most from. So he's had 6 wins in a row, and yeah, I'm sure he's learned stuff from that. But he'll have learned a boatload of stuff from last night. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then the next 2 games. Then we play the teams based in 23rd currently and 22nd at home. So Jonathan, you'd expect 6 points. 6 points from this. And have you looked further ahead at the fixtures and tried to compare them to Coventry's and to Ipswich's at all? No. Some fans have. Have you, Sarah? You have. You nodding your head there. What do you make of them in comparison?
I think we have the better on paper running. Certainly the next 6 games, apart from maybe Birmingham away, who looked very good at the weekend, I think are all extremely winnable. So I think we can go on another run. I think that Coventry and Ipswich have some difficult games. Ipswich are they've got a lot of away games. They're going to get compacted at some point as well with I think they've got the two games behind or something, aren't they? So at some point that can be a bit challenging as well. I think we have the better, at least the next 6 to 8 games. I mean, we have Ipswich and Wrexham last 2 games of the season, which isn't easy, but I think we have the better running, and we have 8 out of our 14 games at home. So for me, I'm okay with what happened last night, because if we were going to lose any game, that was the one in a way that I'd rather us go and win the next 3 or 4, because I think we can still, from the games we have left, get more points than the other 2 teams. That's what I genuinely believe.
Yeah. I think Coventry fans worked it out. They've only got Hull in the top 6 at the moment. They've still got to play twice. So in terms of the positionally, Coventry have got the easier in terms of the position, but you have got home advantage against.
I would argue that the way we play, we can beat teams that I think we can beat a lot of teams the way we play. Coventry got a result last night by not playing. Like, just being realistic about it, they had 29% possession. They just bullied us over the park, and they did the right things in the right areas. No team's going to go to Coventry and do what we did last night. So they've got to overcome the Oxfords of this world, and they haven't been doing that. So I'm not saying that they won't get a bounce from this, because they might, but I'm also saying they've got West Brom next to in a horrific run, and they've got Sheffield United away, and I would be interested to see how that. I think next Thursday away back top.
Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed, but top of the form table now with you is Norwich City, Jonathan, and probably just highlights just how good a win that was over Norwich. And also, of course, Ipswich have to still go to Norwich, which they aren't going to make that easy for them whatsoever. Speaking to them yesterday, they definitely want you and Coventry, for obvious reasons, to go up. So, yeah, I think Ipswich have got the tougher time of it. What do you make to Millwall's chances, Jonathan, though? Would you want to see them in the Prem for a bit of a laugh with you?
I would, actually, yeah, because you know what? Millwall's my favourite away game, so I would fancy like Millwall to come up through the playoffs. And actually, if you're going to talk playoffs later on, then you stole me thunder. They were my picks. I reckon it's them and Wrexham in the playoff final, and with Millwall to win it.
Well, if you haven't yet subbed, then hit the sub button now. If you're a slightly frustrated Boro fan, you're in great company this week. You can subscribe and join us as we get through the remaining 15 or so games of this amazing season left to go. We're up to letter P in the A to Z of Boro at the end of the show, so get thinking on that. Now, we do need your help for next week. So in the comments, please, we hit Q after the Oxford game next weekend. So is there a Boro player beginning with a surname Q that is good enough to get in all the legends that we've already put in? Let us know in the comments. There's probably a couple of obvious, maybe an obvious one or so, but let us know. Your name can be on the stage next week if you can help us out in the comments there. We'll get to P. P stands for playoffs, of course. And this week, Craig, the discussion around the playoffs has been 8th place in the future might be enough to get a playoff position. Is that football gone mad, or is that something you would welcome?
It's that thing, isn't it, where they're just trying to squeeze every little bit of kind of like commercialism and income that they can out of it. So it's a bit like, I know it's a bit different to the National League because the National League don't go down to 8th, but they still have that playoff thing where, like, is it 6th and 7th play, and then 4th and 5th play like a quarter final, then they play the semi-final. So you can kind of see it, because then you've got teams who are like kind of like 10th, 11th, who have still got things to fight for, like with the last few games. So there's less kind of dead rubbers, keep it more interesting. And then there's a few more games at the end of the season. But I mean, I love how the playoffs work. I mean, in theory, you could have a team that finishes 3rd, about 30 points ahead of 8th. And it's like, how do they deserve to be here with us? But yeah, is it next week that the vote is? The EFL chairman vote for it.
I think they're going to. I think they're discussing it, aren't they? But it's going to get voted through, isn't it? I mean, you've got to think of teams like Bristol City and Preston and Hull that are going to benefit. You know, if it goes out. I mean, you would have benefited, I think, in a couple of seasons, wouldn't you, yourselves, finishing 7th and 8th? But is it for you, Sarah?
No, I just no. I would like to go back to how we used to do it, where we used to play one of the Premier League teams, because that's what we did back in the day when I think when we got promoted to the first division back in the day, we played Chelsea. Chelsea were in the first division, and we played them as the lead. That was kind of fun. But no, in all seriousness, I think it for me it works how it is. I think going down to 8th is really bad shout. And when we finished 7th, I wouldn't have wanted to be in the place because we weren't good enough. That's how I see it.
Okay. We've been asking every team across the network, Jonathan, this week, which 3 teams would you like to see go up or deserve to go up? Borough have featured in nearly everybody's. I don't think Hull said it, or only the Sheffield clubs, but other than that, you are thereabouts. Who would you love to be promoted with in terms of the 2 other sides?
I don't mind. It's us, Covent and Millwall. I don't mind. I'll be happy with them 3. You know what? And it's 3 teams who haven't been in the Prem for a bit. I don't remember when Millwall were last in there. Bloody long
never
time
been
ago
in
in my
it.
mind. And they're never in, were they?
Not the Premier League, no.
No, you know what? Because my mind's always tarnished because they were in the old First Division back in 89 when we were in there. So I remember Sutty scored against them. So yeah, there was that. So yeah, Millwall, us, and Cov will do it, and I'd like that.
Craig.
Do you know what? I can see Sheffield United having a late run with a bit of form, but I dare Potato Head to go up. So I'd probably go Wrexham because of the story, like through the playoffs, like us Coventry, and maybe Wrexham, because I mean that's a hell of a story, isn't it? Promotion.
Yeah.
Is it another promotion? Well, is it 4? Would it be 4?
Yeah, they're all.
Yeah, I mean that'd be crazy. But I mean, there's Coventry's story as well. I mean, they didn't own the ground, did they? Like for a couple of seasons. I mean, it is a good story, and at least we can give them 6 points next season as well. Help them stay up.
I tell you what, Birmingham City are the team to watch at the moment. I don't know if you're noticing that they are putting a nice little run together. I think they're only 6 points away from it. So yeah, I think Sky might get their Birmingham Wrexham final yet. Sadly, Sarah, you'd be happy with Cov and anyone?
Yeah, Coventry definitely with us, and then Millwall or Hull actually. I wouldn't mind either of those. I think I just don't want the ex-Premier League clubs to go up. I don't want, and I don't mind Wrexham actually. I think that's a phenomenal story, and I followed it on the TV as well. So I kind of like it. I like what they've done for the whole picture of that town and stuff. So I kind of like it, and Wrexham fans deserve it as much as any other fan does in terms of how they've stuck at it, and you know they were out of the league for so long. I think it's kind of a nice story. So that's where I would go.
Okay. Right, let's get into our A to Z discussion then, Pete. Now, Craig, we have a video, which Craig has. I can't. It's not letting me play it on here. But do you want to talk it through, Craig?
Right, P 2015, the Pigeon Whisperer. We all know, don't we? Johnny Howson. Just for 5 minutes, he worked for the RSPCA. Picking up the pigeon, rescuing a pigeon off the pitch, and but the man's just so nonchalant, just puts it on the side of the touchline and then jogs off laughing to the 30,000 people cheering him at West Ham. Like, unreal. What a hero.
So you're saying P is for pigeon? Is that what you're saying?
The pigeon whisperer. I've heard he can pull a pigeon or a bird.
Oh my word!
Right, Jonathan. Hopefully, you've got something else.
Well, I don't know if I can compete, to be honest with you. I mean, I've just got regular players, to be honest with you. I don't have birds or nothing. So it's, I got Pallister. It would be one I might stick in, and he was the record transfers fee back in '89, and he was a majestic defender. I like watching him back in the '80s, and he used to take the ball and glide out of defence. And no surprise that Alex Ferguson bought him for, was it 2.3 million at the time? So. Yeah, I mean, there's actually a ruck of peas, which if Sarah and Craig can get the bird out of his head, they might mention as well. But yeah. But I'll stick with Pallister.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, me.
Any of you?
Yeah. Well, I was also going to go for Pallister, but I will also mention in that team there was quite a few peas, like Jonathan mentioned. There was Gary Parkinson. There was Matt Proctor. Stephen Pears. I've got Stephen Pears down here as well. His son also played for us for a short while as well. I'm just conscious that Mark's having a fit there. Then we had Jim Platt, goalkeeper for Boro in the 70s. We had Alan Peacock, who was a massive Boro hero of my grandparents, actually. So I must mention him. He passed away recently, but he was a huge part of the club as well, and was still working at the club till quite recently. I think that I'm sure I've missed somebody there, but yeah, we also I'll leave some for Craig if he's got anybody else other than unless he's just gone with the pigeon whisperer.
Oh, that's the number one, the pigeon whisperer. We've Mad Dog Pogatet. Do you remember his debut? When he came on his debut, and he just literally was it Perez? We played Arsenal, and he ran on from the touchline and just shoulder barged Perez, and the little Frenchman was like, "What are you doing?" He was like raging inside. But the Parnabys, Dave and Stuart. Oh, sorry, I've gone dark. Lights have gone. Oh, there we are. I have paid the bill. Dave Parnaby. He was head of the academy for years, produced loads of youngsters, and then obviously his son Stuart Parnaby was part of the squad through the Europe. The 2 Europe seasons, and then a mad one as well, like Portsmouth. I remember under McLaren we played Portsmouth away last game of the season. We got absolutely twatted. I think it was 5-1, and Yakubu scored 4, and we signed him on the back of that. So we brought the yak from Portsmouth, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. You tell you what, we better
Jamie Pollock.
Yeah, Pollock.
Jamie
and also
Pollock.
Jimmy Phillips as well. We need to stick Jimmy Phillips in there, I think.
Oh, Jimmy Phillips. He had a class side pattern.
Apologies if you heard any offensive language during that last one as well. Right. We will just a tad. We will catch you then the other side of the Oxford game this weekend. It's going to be a home banker, isn't it? No slip-ups. No slip-ups here. Thank you very much. If you want to give us a head loss on any of the game you saw on Monday night, put it in the comments. We're happy to read it, as we do all your comments. Love your love for the channel. Help us out for Q next week. Otherwise, it's going to be a very short video. And catch you then. Good luck against Oxford. Boro are on the march.